This is our first video for Chapter 2. This is Chapter 2, Section 1, Variables and Expressions. What you'll learn in this video is to evaluate algebraic expressions. Remember, a mathematical expression is a phrase containing only numbers and operation symbols. Now, the terms you'll need to define in your notebook are these. There are 4. Be sure to label the section of your notebook as terms or vocabulary, number the terms, and then write down their definitions as you see them. The words you need to look for are numerical expression, variable, algebraic expression, and evaluate. Again, be sure to pause the video and write down the definition when you see them. Now, a numerical expression is a mathematical phrase with only numbers and operational symbols. For example, a numerical expression is 8 plus 5 plus 2 because it only has numbers, 8, 5, and 2, and operation symbols, plus and minus. In the expressions below, n, d, b, and x are variables. A variable is a symbol that can represent one or more numbers. A mathematical expression with one or more variables is an algebraic expression. So in these examples, the variable is the n, the d, the b, and the x. So it's pretty much any time you see a math problem that has letters in it, it's an algebraic expression, and those letters are there to represent some other value. Let's look at an example. So we're going to be modeling with algebra tiles. When you're modeling, it just means you pick one thing to represent your variable and one thing to represent your number that does not have a variable. So for ours, we're going to use green bars for our variable and white squares for our number without a variable. So if we're looking for 5x plus 3, we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green bar algebra tiles for our variable, and 1, 2, 3 yellow square tiles for our non-variable number. So this is just a model of 5x plus 3. You don't have to solve anything, you don't have to figure anything out. It's just a model of the expression. And plus this lets you visually see that those two things cannot go together. They're not the same thing. I cannot add the green bars and the yellow squares together. It just doesn't work. So let's look at another one. Oops, wrong square. All right, so say I have 3x plus 2. If I'm doing 3x, that's my variable, so that's my green bars. So I need 1, 2, 3 green bars, and then 1, 2 yellow squares. So anytime you have anything with one number has a variable and one number does not, your variable number is going to be green squares, and your non-variable number is going to be green rectangles, and your non-variable number is going to be yellow squares. So if we go back to our 5x plus 3, we have 5 green tiles to represent 5x, 3 yellow tiles represent 3. So it's just a way to visually see the problem. Now pause the video and do a model for this expression. Remember to label it as exercises or quick checks in your notebook, number the problem, and then show your model. And please write down that you're doing a model for x plus 2. Don't just randomly have rectangles and squares drawn in your notebook. Now, the title screen of a video game usually asks how many players. The number of players is a variable. The game software uses your entry to set up the game. Now, to evaluate an algebraic expression, you replace each variable with whatever number they've given you. Then you just use order of operations to simplify the expression. So let's look at an example of evaluating an algebraic expression. So the algebraic expression we're using is 2x minus 8. And they want us to work out the expression with x equals 11. So what that means is we're going to rewrite our expression and replace the x with an 11. So 2x minus 8 becomes 2 times 11 minus 8. Now remember, when we're talking about multiplying, it can be a number right next to a variable, a number right next to parentheses, a number times a variable, which is what this is one of the reasons we start doing other things, because 2 x's in a row is kind of confusing, or 2 and then a dot and your variable. But most of the time in algebra, that's the one you're going to see. All right, back to our problem. So we replace the x with 11, so it becomes 2 times 11 minus 8. Then you do the math for the 2 times 11, because we know with order of operations, we do the parentheses first. So 2 times 11 gets us to 22, so it becomes 22 minus 8. Then we just do the subtraction, because that's all that's left, and 22 minus 8 is 14. So the answer for this expression is 14. Once we evaluated the expression for the value of 11, that's what's evaluate, it's whatever value they give you. So 2x minus 8 when x is 11 is 14. Pause the video and do these 3 in your notebook. Again, be sure to number it, write down the original equations, and show all your work evaluating them for x equals 7. Now, you can evaluate an expression using more than one variable. So you can make a table to organize the different values. So let's look at another example. Say you earn $3 for each person who plays a game at your booth at the school fair. The expression 3p represents the amount of money you earn, where p is the number of people who play your game. So p equals the number of people who play. So we're going to complete the table for the given number of people. So it says 15 people are playing, so that means we're going to do 3 times the value given, so 3 times 15. So 3 times 15 gets us 45, so the amount we earned was $45. And we're going to do the same thing for 40 people. So 3 times 40. 3 times 40 is 120. So the amount they earned for 40 people is $120. Then we're going to do the same thing for 65. 3 times 65. 3 times 65 is 195. So the amount they earned was 195. So you can take whatever value they give you and just replace whatever your variable is with that amount, and just do whatever they want you to do. If they want to do multiply or divide or add or subtract, you just replace the letter with whatever number they gave you for that letter and do the math. Pause the video and try this one in your notebook. You need the 3p from the previous screen, and they want you to figure it out for 85 people this time. Now it's time to check your understanding. Be sure to label it as check your understanding in your notebook, number all the problems, and show any and all work. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.